welcome to another tutorial in our series on how to create a game with Ultimate Survival. And in this video we're going to be chopping down some trees with our super cool saw blade that we made the other day. Now our saw blade was a little bit too hardcore maybe for our tests, and I think that if we use it on a tree we'll end up chopping down a tree just with one swing. So I'm going to find our saw blade, and when you click on the saw blade you can see the damage per hit. I'm going to put that down to about 35. So it's not as powerful as before, but it's still pretty strong. To give you an idea of how powerful it is, the stone hatchet is 15, the axe we had it at 100 when we were playing about. So let's put that axe back down to 40. Let's put the axe down to 30, and let's put our saw blade then up to 40. Nice blend between the two. So our saw blade is the most powerful melee weapon that we've got at the moment. Now there's two ways to add trees for harvesting in the game. You can add them to the non-terrain prefabs, or you can add them to the terrain trees. So the first thing I'm going to do is add it to the non-terrain versions, and I've got in the hand-painted nature kit, the light version that we downloaded originally, there's some prefabs. We've got a larch, we've got a pine, and I think I'll add it to this larch. Our larch model doesn't have any LODs with it, so this one's going to be very straightforward. We're just going to add a capsule collider, and we're going to add our mining script to it. Now if you remember in our last video, because we added those destroyed rocks to our mining script, when we destroyed the big rock it instantiated the smaller prefabs. We can do the same thing with the trees. Now you've seen some videos out there where when you chop down a tree it brings down a smaller tree or logs, and then you have to chop up those logs to get the smaller logs or the twigs or whatever. So pretty much your imagination is the only thing that's going to limit you here. So the first thing I want to do is add a capsule collider to my larch models, because currently they don't have anything and I can just walk straight through them. So let's find that large tree that's currently in our scene. It's all the way over there, and let's say hello to him. It's a massive tree. I think this will be fun to chop down. So here he is. It's got no capsule collider and it's very simple. So I'm going to add capsule collider. Let's put all of these down to 0, and let's put the radius. It's big. Okay, make it 0.4. No, make it 0.5. I think that'll do. Maybe 0.55. No, 0.5. Okay, the height's pretty big. Let's make it 15, and I'm gonna. I think that'll do us for now. Let's click play and see if we can walk through that tree. So there's all our stuff on the floor. We're very messy. There's our saw blade. Let's pick him up. I just want to carry our saw blade around because I do love our saw blade. This is a different tree, and as you can see it's got no capsule collider and we're just running through it. There's our tree. Hello tree. So, and now I can't run through that tree anymore. I'm also knackered. Can you hear me panting? I do love the little sound effects. It just makes me think that it's the guys at Winterbite in their bedrooms with the microphones breathing down the mic as they're recording their sounds. I love it. Right, so and because you've got a capsule collider, we're just boshing away. Nice. And that's good enough for now. So let's add the mining script. Let's add that nav mesh obstacle so our AI don't try to walk through this tree. Get out, and let's add nav mesh obstacle. That's pretty big. Let's make it the same size. So put our. Are we going to have any really tall? Oh, there's our. Hang on. That's a little mistake I made before. Our capsule collider is in the ground. So why didn't anyone shout at that when I was doing it before? There we go, that's better. Okay, so still going to make our nav mesh up, still got a bit smaller. There we go. So that will stop people trying to walk through it. So let's add our mining script. We've got two ways of doing it. We can do it manually ourselves, or we can just copy and paste it from one of the existing ones. I know what you're saying. Let's do it ourselves. No, you're not really saying that. You're saying let's copy and paste it because we're too lazy. So let's go to Ultimate Survival folder, prefabs, objects, and find that broadleaf tree. It's got a rigid body on it, and it's got a mining tree script. So it's got its capsule collider, and it's got its nav mesh obstacle. So let's grab our mineable tree, copy component, very similar to the mineable script that we had on the rock. And where is our larch gone? Here's our larch. So I'm going to add paste component as new. So required tool purpose, cut wood. Obviously it's not going to break rocks, so the tool has to be able to cut wood, otherwise nothing's going to happen. Now when we destroy our tree, we get a destroyed object of, they've given us a destroyed tree. So what's it look like? Nothing, it's just a empty object with particle effects. Okay, so let's go back to our tree, and what else have we got here? So loot, we've got one piece of loot and it's a log, and 100% chance of getting a log. Now we could increase that up to 2 and or 21 even. And the second thing would be a stick. Do we have sticks in our menu? Let's go to our item management and resources. What have we got? Yeah, we do have sticks. So why don't we make it a little bit different and add stick? So spawn chance of sticks. Right, should we do a 30-70? 30-70. Minimum amount of logs, 1 to 3. Minimum, let's do 1 to 1. So it's one log a chop. And how many sticks do we get? We get 3 to 5 sticks a chop. I think that's nice. And is that everything we need? I think so. Let's give it a go and see what happens. Oh, we don't have a rigid body. Should we add our rigid body? Rigid body. And turn off its gravity and put its kinematic on. I think that's what it had. Now if we put that on and our tree just flies off in the air because of our collider, we'll find out. Click and play, very excited. Let's find our saw blade. And let's run for our tree. Where's tree? Where are you, tree? I'm lost in our massive world that we've created. Was our tree down here? No, our tree wasn't down there, was it? And I'm knackered already. So I think our tree is down one of these. There's our tree. Really need to put a homing beacon on our tree. So run again. Here is our tree. We can't walk through our tree. Let's hit it. We gathered one log. I'm pointing at my monitor. Can you see me pointing? Gathered one log. Gathered 3 sticks. Gathered one log. Gathered one log. Gathered 3 sticks. Gathered one log. Gathered one log. Gathered one log. Gathered one log. One log. 4 sticks. Oh, 4 sticks. 3 sticks. 4 sticks! Oh! Oh, that was exciting. So, our tree just exploded into a million pieces and we've got no tree in its place. But, what did these kind people give us? They gave us a stump. So, let's make that a little bit more different now. And let's find, where do they... Hey, first of all, I'm going to copy this destroyed tree into our homemade prefabs folder by holding down Alt on my keyboard and left click dragging into the prefabs. Now if you guys know better ways of doing this, stick it in the comments below, because I am still quite a noob when it comes to knowing all of the little tricks and tweaks that you can do inside the Unity editor. There's some great videos that people are putting out there, so I do appreciate all the emails and messages that you guys are putting in the comments. So really does help a lot. Let's find, where were we? We're finding, here it is, hand painted nature kite light and prefabs Stumpy. Hello Stumpy. So let's put Stumpy into our folder over here. Alt click left drag until you guys tell me anything different. So here's the stump. Now I'm going to put my stump right here. Here it is on the scene, and let's put this effects on Stumpy. Oh, hang on. There. Yes. Destroy. Delete you. Okay, so here's Stumpy, and there's the effects that we had from the destroyed tree. So I'm going to call this destroyed tree stump, and let's stick you back in here and get you. Oh, hang on. Let's put a. No, do we want a mesh collider? Do we want a mesh collider? No, let's just put a box collider. Box collider on there. Let's keep it simple. This one. There we go. There we go. So this was a lot of fanning about just to put a box collider on our mesh. So let's apply that and destroy that one. So now we've got our destroyed tree stump, and we've got our tree. So let's put our destroyed tree stump to our. Here he is. Now I'm hoping that when we destroy our big tree, it will put the stump nicely where that tree was. Hoping. Let's click play and see what happens. Now I haven't tried this before, so this could go horribly wrong. And normally I sit there screaming at YouTubers saying, why didn't you test all your stuff out first before making a video? And now I can see why, because it's really fun and exciting when it goes all wrong. So let's just keep on chopping down our tree. Chop, choppity chop, 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 chop. No, we haven't. There it is. There's our stump. It's not fantastic because they're simple models and it's amongst the grass, but it'll do. Works for what we want it to do. I want to raise it up a little bit because it's in the ground. So, and also if you notice that, where did that come from? So if you notice that we didn't spawn any of our sticks that time, so that's odd. 70%, 30%, and every hit was a log. Oh, interesting. So let's raise our 0.2, 0.3, 0.5. Let's do it at 0.5 and see what happens. So, because we're playing about, let's make our saw blade very strong. So all it takes is a couple of hits, and pick up our saw blade. Let's run to our tree. Now that we've worked out where the tree is, it's a lot easier to find it. So I really should put the tree right next to us so we don't have to do this running. We got some sticks this time. We got some sticks this time. Oh, I was about to say we got some sticks but no logs. And there is our stump. So you could make it fancier. You could do special effects. You could have the tree falling down. I mean, there's loads of stuff that we could be doing, but I think for now, I mean that's pretty good. Or you could even add. So let's apply, there's our larch, let's apply that so it affects the prefabs that we've got. And let's, on here, on our destroyed tree, let's add another mineable tree. Cut wood, put it low resistance, about there. None, we give nothing on destroyed, because actually let's do the on destroyed, do that destroyed tree, you know, the destroyed tree that we had originally, so that just makes all that poof appear. No loot, should we give a loot? Nah, let's not give any loot, let's just do it like this so people clear off. So this is fun. So I'm just smiling on my face, because now we're going to chop down the tree, it's going to leave a stump, and then we can chop down the stump to make the space nice and clean. Right, so last go before we move on to the terrain versions of the trees. Running to our tree, you can see our stamina is going down. Can I get to the tree before the stamina gets down? That could be a new game, get to the tree. So, chop, 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 chop. 4 sticks this time. And there is our stump. And now, let's... Hey! Well, that was exciting, wasn't it? So there you go. That was fun. But I did notice that we didn't have any noise when we destroyed our tree. So we need to add on our surface identity. Here it is, surface identity script, and we put a texture on there. So, where's our destroyed tree? Well, let's go into textures. Okay, where's our stumpy? Stumpy. Hang on, stumpy. If I open up here, the bark. Okay. Bark 3.2. So, bark 3.2. Is that you? There you are. Put him over here. Bark 3.2. Now, if we go. Now we need to actually record this and say that Bark 3.2 is the one that it's a texture that makes a wood choppy chop to do it. So let's find our prefabs, resources. Here's resources, custom data, surface data. Okay, so wood. Let's open up wood. We got some nuns. So Bark 3.2, let's add that in there. So far we've added the surface identity only to Stumpy, and now we need to add it to Larch. So, surface identity script, let's find our Bark 3.2, drag him in, and we've also, hang on, let's click apply so that applies to all of the prefab as well. So if we had a load of these trees in our scene, all of them would be affected. Let's go back to our prefabs. This is the destroyed prefab, the original one. So it's got an audio source here. I want to grab that and I want to paste that into our one. That's why we weren't having the explosion. If we go back to our resources, custom data, again you can see that for wood it's got Bark 3.2, and these are the other textures that would also have the same effect, so they would have wood splinters and that wood sound when we're chopping away. And actually we can, let me duplicate this tree and move it a little bit. Oh, it's a bit too far. There you go. No, too far again. So here we go. And 85, 81. Okay. That's a bit too much. So here's 2 trees. Now this tree, I'm going to remove the surface identity script. And this tree has got the surface identity script. So this one would have the wood splinters and this one wouldn't. Just want to show you the difference now that we've got one side by side. And obviously we could do that on rocks, on metal, you could have different effects. So here's our two trees. This one has got the wood, and as you can see there's wood splinters and that flying off. This one doesn't, so when you're hitting a tree, for some reason bits of stone fly off, and it's a different noise. And because we added the audio on Stumpy, Stumpy now has that noise. Stumpy has the script, so it has splinters. Now we could have a different audio, so you could have a nice tree falling down noise. I mean, your imagination is the only thing really that's going to limit you. Your imagination and what files you have available on your computer that you can download. So we've got our trees that we've added to our scene, and we could chop them down and replace them with Stumpy the Stump. And we've got, also nice, we've got all of these trees that were placed down with the Unity. So I want to add the same scripts to all of these. So let's go to Ultimate Survival Objects, and find the Broadleaf Tree Empty prefab. Holding down Alt, I'm just going to drag it into my prefabs folder. Now I've got hold of it, and here it is. So instead of saying the destroyed tree, I want it to have destroyed tree stump, and for 2 loot size, I've got the logs at 70, we've got stick at 30, and we'll have 3 to 5 sticks and always 1 log. So we've got this still the same problem with our surface identity missing, so that's bark 32, put that in there. And now let's go to our terrain and add on our terrain the tree manager script. This is going to be fantastic. So we're going to disable the enable tree colliders. We're going to add 1 to our tree creator size. Okay, we need to open up our terrain and click on trees, and we see that the pine trees are the second one in our list. So instead of being 0, it'll be 1. And let's go back to our prefabs folder, and here's our broadleaf empty. Stumpy needs to be a bit higher, doesn't it? So what was the larch? Larch had it at 0.5. So let's do the same. Where are you? Here you are. 0.5. Okay, so back to our terrain. As a terrain manager script and tree manager rather. So drop in this one here. Okay, so I think that's it. We've got trees 1, and that's number 1 there. Okay, let's try it. Let's click play. Very excited. So let's pick up our super axe, our saw blade, and all of these are those. And now I can't run through them anymore. I didn't have to do anything to them. I see the wood flies off. I'm gathering, and keep on smacking away. This is a very high resistance on the thing. We need to change the settings. And now it's spawned this prefab in its place. Nice. Let's go to the next one. I'm gathering again. So guys, with this script in Ultimate Survival, I've turned hundreds of trees into harvestable, mineable, chopper-you-downable, whatever you want to call them, trees to gather. This is freaking amazing. Okay. I got so excited I jumped off the cliff. I got a massive smile on my face because I'm just imagining what kind of freak things I'm going to do next. And because it's on one prefab is now used for all of these trees, it's going to be easy for me to put a tree falling down noise, change what we spawn when we destroy the trees. I mean, we could do anything we want, really. So that's the video for today, and a bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I got a bit carried away because this script is awesome. So these are the other types of trees that we've placed down. So you can actually see the difference between these types of trees and the other ones. And I've fallen down again. Alright guys, see you in the next video. Take care. Coming up next, we'll be adding NPCs and humanoid AI. So while we're trying to chop down trees, zombies will be trying to eat our brains. If you missed our earlier tutorials, have a click on the left, you'll find tutorial number 3 where we learned to make our saw blade, tutorial number 4 where we learned to mine some ore. And if you like what you've seen, if you want to see more, click on that big juicy red subscribe button. Go on, you know you want to.